The fight goes on for an improved Canada Disability Benefit. This is Now You Know. I'm Rob Snow.
The answers you need to know from the people in the know. This is Now You Know with Rob Snow on City News.
The federal government claims the new Canada Disability Benefit will lift tens of thousands of Canadians out of poverty, but it has its critics who say the amount of money being made available is far too low. There is going to be one more and final round of public consultations on this new benefit. Krista Carr is the Executive Director of Inclusion Canada. Thanks for joining me.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Where does the new Canada Disability Benefit fall short, in your opinion?
Well, I think, first of all, when the budget was released, we in the disability community were very concerned about the amount of the benefit. The maximum amount a person can receive is $200. That is far, far, far too low. And the fact that it is only going to be going to people who are in receipt of or are eligible for the disability tax credit, which has all kinds of problems associated with it. But by and large, it is also not going to go to the most impoverished people with disabilities in Canada, because largely people in receipt of the disability tax credit, not exclusively, but largely, are people who work, and it's designed to be a tax credit that helps them claim, the expenses related to their disability. That's great, but we would like to have seen it go to anybody who receives provincial or territorial disability income support benefits, because they are
inadequate.
Fact, the most well, and they are also the most poor, right? If you're in receipt of provincial territorial disability income benefits, you are definitely, in need of additional income. You are living in poverty.
Oh yeah, no question. I believe in the province of Ontario, it's, I don't know what it is these days, 12 or 13,000 a year, in that neighborhood, yes. Something like that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right? And it's less than that in some other provinces.
Yeah. They improved it in Quebec. I think it's up to 17,000 a year. But I mean, where can you even live on that in Canada now? $12,000 to $17,000 a year. I want to just circle back to this $200. That's a month, right? That's a month.
That's the maximum you can receive, and it is a month per month. That is correct. So that was the original announcement in the budget, that's what it was going to be. Now they're in the process of developing the regulations, which is basically going to talk about, how much income can you have before you start to get the benefit clawed back, and, some of those types of things. And so they've put out draft regulations, and they are drafts, and the public has 86 days to comment on those draft regulations, and then they will take that feedback into consideration and and release the final version of it. The concern, one huge concern is, they've been consulting people with disabilities for 2 years on what they wanted to see in the design of the benefit and the amount of the benefit and the eligibility for the benefit. And largely what we've seen to date does not reflect any of the feedback that people with disabilities across the country have given them. The amount doesn't reflect it. The eligibility criteria doesn't reflect it. If you look at the draft regulations, people wanted it to be based on individual income. The draft regulations propose family income. People wanted to be able to keep, have a generous earnings exemption from employment, which would allow people to, really get out there and try to work and enhance their income. And we know that the more generous the earnings exemption is, more people are going to try to go to work and hopefully be able to get off benefits at some point in time. But the income exemption is only $10,000 a year. If you look at Ontario, they even let you keep $12,000. BC lets you keep $16,000. So, but I think perhaps most concerning about these draft regulations is that they're going to start clawing the benefit back from you at 20 cents on the dollar for every dollar you earn over $23,000 a year. Well, $23,000 a year doesn't even get you to the poverty line in any province in this country. So you're going to be, and we all know that the legislative poverty line doesn't take into consideration the extra cost of disability. So basically, you're going to start getting your benefit clawed back from you before you even
hit the poverty line.
So
right.
How is that going to help, lift people with disabilities out of poverty?
Krista Carr, it just seems to me the process is backwards here. They've come out and they've said, okay, this, we were coming up with this new Canada disability benefit, $200 a month maximum. That would be the maximum anyone would qualify for. And now we're going to consult on how it should be administered and who should be eligible. It's kind of backwards to me.
It is backwards. And if you talk about backward, I think what's happened is the government has made an announcement in the budget about how much money they are going to be allocating for this benefit. And basically, they've just worked backwards from that amount of money to design the benefit, to say, okay, well, if this is all the money that we have, then we're only going to, it has to be, right? The benefit has to be this much money. It can only be eligible for these many people. It can, anybody that earns over this can't. And that is really a backwards way of designing a benefit that's meant to bring people with disabilities out of poverty. And I guess the thing that's most concerning to me is that, we listen to the federal government announce billions of dollars, millions, billions, on a monthly basis for all kinds of different things. But when it comes to disability, we're saying, we're sorry, this is all the money we have. We just don't have, there's just not enough money. And we know darn well that, there's money for things that government prioritizes. And why is disability never one of those things?
Yeah. Okay. Well, we shall see where it goes from here. I thank you for your time and the public awareness that you're bringing to this issue. Greatly appreciate it.
Thanks so much. Thanks so much, Rob. Take care.
That's Krista Carr, the Executive Director of Inclusion Canada. I'm Rob Snow. This is Now You Know. This is City News.